Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day today, as you can see. It's supposed to be raining soon. Not today, I don't think. It might rain tonight. I haven't looked at the weather forecast, but for the rest of the day, it's getting close to 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and pretty much for the rest of the day today, it's going to be like this. It's just beautiful. Blue skies with some puffy white clouds and all of that. And I've been out here trimming. You can see the grass. I've been out here cutting the grass, and in the front it looks really nice. I guess I'll show that to you right quick first. I cut all the grass here next to the kura. It's starting to grow. Some of the grass underneath, of course this is a dirt floor, so some grass grows in there. I cut that, cut back here behind there. I had to move the big ladder out of the way in order to cut it. And then I spent 2 hours to do this stuff on the front, and it was quite a task. I used the string trimmer to cut all this grass that grows in the cracks here. I think I'm going to come back and spray some vinegar on all of this so that this grass will die and not grow here, and cut everything down here next to the van in the front of the main kura all the way down. But this is what took me like 2 hours to do. Okay, I've got a little bit of grass growing here in front of the wall, between the wall and the road, all the way down to the driveway there. And from, I would say from here down to like right here, it's not too big of a deal. It's just kind of grass, and after I cut it, I just pick up the sticks in the grass, rake it up and throw it in the wheelbarrow. It's not that big of a deal. But I did try to, as you can see, try to cut it really low and get it right up next to the stone. I went through a few pieces of trimmer line because, you know, that stone just kind of eats up the trimmer line, but I have to use it because using the metal blade to cut this is ridiculous. You can't use it for that. But right here you'll notice from like here it starts to become mostly just 90% dirt, right? All the way down to here. You see how it's all fresh dirt? The reason is because this was all covered with leaves, just tons and tons of leaves. And so I had to get all of those up. I raked up all of those. It took me several loads with the wheelbarrow to get them tossed out of here. And as you can see here, all dirt, right? All dirt right next to the salamander home. Hey guys. And then from here, it got even nastier because from here down to here, it's been very wet with the water coming through the wall. So this is very muddy. But I was able to get this part right here, as you see right here, I was able to get this all scraped up with the hoe and clear it out, and then knock out some of that dirt here and cut the grass all the way up next to the wall and get it looking much nicer all the way down. All the way down to the edge here. See? So let's take a look at the front of the house from this angle. There we go, right? Much nicer. The road is more open, wider. And now I need to cut these limbs here. Z was out the other day, Jake, he was out the other day with me, and he took out his shears and he was able to trim this tree over here. And so you can see those limbs are up higher and not out in the road. That looks nice. And I want to cut these limbs here also to match that, so it's all similar. I don't want the view obstructed from here to the house, and I want it up to match the same level as the eave of the house. Anyway, a lot of the leaves and dirt I tossed over here in the field, so no big deal. And I went back with the string trimmer, cut all the grass that was growing down the edge of the road here, all the way down along these cracks, and up here, the grass that was growing along the cracks in the wall. Up here I cut all that. And you can see where I cut up to here. From here all the way up to about right there. It's a little dark, but there we go. Yeah, to about right there. I cut all this with a string trimmer. And then right up here, I cut this. So this is basically where I just stopped. right here I cut with a string trimmer, and then this spot right here. But it's getting too thick, so it's just this. It's becoming very difficult, and it's just destroying my string. So what I've decided to do is go ahead and put my metal blade on. I've got a new metal blade that's very different. It's not carbide tipped. It's just a flat black metal blade, and it's for brush, like heavy brush and this kind of stuff. And what I'm going to do first is go after this, okay? All of this right here. There's like another ramp right here that goes into the field, and my wall is back there, and I want to cut to the wall. And I don't know how successful I'm going to be, but I'm going to set the camera up over there and do a time lapse and attack this and see what we can do. You can also see back here where I've cut the grass from here all the way over to the right next to the bathhouse, and then around the other side of the bathhouse. So it's looking better. You know, it's coming along slowly. Once I get all the debris out of the yard, the grass is cut, the tile, all the broken tiles are removed, all of the rotten wood, the glass, the cans, the bottles, and the miscellaneous plastic garbage and whatever else, you know, broken dishes, all of that stuff. Once it gets out of the yard and I can level the yard, and then the grass is cut, it's going to look really, really nice, right? Don't you think so? I think so. Let me walk over here. Ugh, still kind of muddy right there. Yeah, the water is flowing very, very slowly right now. Almost not at all. There's so little water coming out of the back field right now that this stream is only like an inch high, and it's barely moving. It's moving almost not at all. Yeah, that's because it hasn't rained in many days. But this area right here is still quite muddy, this corner right here. And since it's still so, you know, sloppy and muddy, that tells me that I've got to figure out a better way to get this water out of here, you know? Anyway, I've got stuff to burn, but I'm not burning today, and the reason is because it's just too dry. If you can tell, just out here, the yard is too dry, and I'm right by this field with a lot of stuff, and I don't want to burn today. And with the weather coming up, you know, the changes to the weather, the rain coming up, I'll have a good opportunity to burn. As soon as it starts to rain and it gets a little wet out here, that's when I'll light all of this up. I've got this to burn. I've got these leaves plus a ton of leaves in here up in the front of the house and around the kura, the guest house kura, to burn, plus all of these leaves that Jake cut down for me a couple of days ago, plus a few more limbs right there. So that's the junk over here, the broken rotten wood pieces and all of that other stuff. There's a lot of stuff just right over here that needs to be burned. So I think that once it starts to rain, it'll be good to just light up this pile and just keep burning and get out of here and just keep grabbing junk and tossing it on here. Over here, we've been dividing up stuff, you know, the broken tiles, the good tiles, we've been separating those, plus a basket of plastic stuff. I've been tossing metal pieces over there. There are glass bottles over here. We've been putting those in the purple recycle bags. So trying to get everything kind of organized, but divided and all of that at the same time. So, you know, one step at a time. Jake's only been over, he and his girlfriend have only been over one time to really help me out with this stuff here. There's going to be some more stuff coming soon, and I look forward to sharing that. But since it's just me right now, my plan is to get into this. Okay, this is the wall right here, and it ramps up. This ramp goes up into the field, and I want to see how much I can open it up with this blade. Let's get to it. And after I finish with this, I think what I'm going to do, go take a break. I really need a hot bath and wash up and change some clothes so that I'm probably gonna get to it. Okie dokie. I'm exhausted. I was able to do a couple of other things that I didn't think that I was going to do today, so that's good. I didn't get that ramp and all of that bamboo cut as much as I thought, but it is really thick. I'm going to need to get another blade, but that black blade works so much better on that bamboo than the carbide tipped blades, even though I mean those cut really well, but only for a few minutes, and then they're kind of shot and I have to grab another one. But this black blade, it did everything that I did today. It did it all, so that was really amazing. So, and that one's only about $10, so I think I'm going to stick with that one from now on. I'll probably just get a couple more of those and use those for the rest of the stuff that I have to do. But my battery's about to die on the phone, but I'm glad that I was able to get all this done before it ran out. Let's take a quick walk around and see what we did. Okay, this is where I ended for today. I was thinking about cutting in between the guest house kura and the wall there and getting into all that brush, but that's a big job, and I really kind of wanted to finish everything out here, so that's what I did. I started here, as I told you earlier. I did all of that. I cut all the grass between the kura and the house, and all the grass around the shed in the back, all the way up that back ramp. And then I cut into the bamboo behind the guest house kura, and I wound up here. This is the main road. There are two ways to come to the house. This way, all the way up here, there's a fork there, and you come up here. So when you first see the house, you know, this is the angle. You see the guest house kura and the house. Of course, because of the trees there, a lot of the view is blocked. Gonna trim those trees up to the eave, so some of that will become visible. But this wall was largely covered up by just like this. So this part right here looked like this just a moment ago, but I cut it all the way down to the drain, and I tossed all the grass and the dirt and the mud and everything that I gathered up today right here. Not in the drain. There's a drain over there where it goes down and then across over to the rice fields. I didn't want to block that, so I tossed it to the side. But as you can see, I got it cleaned up pretty nicely, so you can actually see the wall now. The grass isn't hanging over it, and I still missed a few of the long pieces, but it's not sticking up too high. I got a lot of the dead grass, the weeds, and chopped it down a little bit, so from this angle you can actually see the guest house kura much better than before. But I also like that you can see the wall. The more of the moss and ferns and grass and weeds that I cut off this wall, the better I like it. I like to see the original stone wall here. It looks nice. I cut it all the way around. I left this tree here. There's no reason to cut this tree down. Just left it there. And I cut all the way up. I was able to cut all the grass in this area. So from here all the way around the house, all the way around the guest house kura, I got it cut. Plus you can see tons and tons of bamboo that is just strewn all over. This stuff is huge. I am 6 feet tall, and this stuff is about 10 feet tall up there at the peak. For those of you who do meters, I guess you could say maybe 3.5 meters. These are about 3.5 meters or more tall. But it originally came all the way down to like right here, and I cut it back to there. So I widened it out actually all the way down to there. Look how much. I also cut all this grass next to the kura, everything there, and I chopped down a lot of these briars. I want to get those completely cut down. This tree here, and especially this one here, because this is like a briar tree, I want to get it completely cut down, but the blade that I have on the trimmer right now is not strong enough to cut those roots up. I need like a little chainsaw. But anyway, like I said, look at all the tons and tons of bamboo out here that I cut down. And I cut so far over here, I found that There are more stones right here. Can you see the stones? And kind of some type of wall, retaining wall right here, and then around there. These are stones. All of these over here are stones, but there are some cement blocks going down that way, and these go all the way down there to that part right there where the little waterfall is, where the water's running. There's so much bamboo here, you can't even see my stream anymore. It's just got everything completely covered up. But anyway, take a look at how open it is right now. You couldn't see this tree before because of all the bamboo, but I cut all the way to that tree, and that's just basically where I kind of stopped. Further back behind all this bamboo is the wall, and I want to get to that. I want to open that up and get all the way to the wall. But like I said, I need another blade. This one's getting dull. It does work good on this stuff, but look how much I cut. Isn't it just ungodly, the amount of bamboo that I cut? Take a look. Can you see that? Mounds and mounds and mounds of bamboo. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. The good thing is that it's starting to change. The weather's starting to change. It seems that it's going to rain soon, and because of that, I'll be able to burn all this bamboo without worrying too much about, you know, getting anything else on fire. But let's continue on down here right quick. Yeah, it's interesting because here's my stream right here. The funny thing is, I couldn't stand right here before because right here where this tree is and all of this bamboo, it stuck out here so far that I couldn't stand in this spot because it would be all in my face right now. And that is a good 3 meters away from my feet all the way over to the root of that tree, or the base of that tree, is 3 meters. So that, just to give you an idea of how wide that is, from the water to the bamboo line now is roughly 3 meters. And that's basically how much I cut from there all the way down to here. Where I'm at is pretty far. 3 meters deep of cutting, and I'm still not to the wall. The wall is over there, so can't even see it. When you look through there, can't even see the wall. It's just shadows. It's very thick. So I'm gonna need some more blades to get all the way back there. It's not a huge priority, but I did want to open it up while I was out here, and you know, just make it look nicer, make myself feel better. I want to trim all of that around there and get that nice and cut down, get up on top of the wall, cut that, cut around the shed and the other side of the kura. Just really get everything cut down, looking nice, you know, get the critters away from here, and make the water management just really good, so that whenever it does rain, the water stays mostly out of the yard, so that the rain that's coming down is the only thing wetting the yard, so that it can get the water that it needs, but without getting flooded by the water coming out of that field back there. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. Anyway, I think that's it for now. This was another yard work video, and it seems like I just keep having to go back to the yard work, and there's definitely more to do. The main thing that I need to get done is get the rest of this junk from beside the guest house kura, and get all that grass and all those leaves and everything either thrown away or burned. And once the yard is just completely good to go, I can really go full steam on some things inside that need to be done. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and as always, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, and jane.